Pretty neat, eh? Let me show you how to do it. So GoPro Labs is a platform that's just been released in the last few days. I'll leave this link in the description down below, but you can find it just by Googling GoPro Labs as well. And to get started, you want to go ahead and scroll down until you see this link here, and you're going to download this file. Now, if you're unsure how to put this onto your GoPro, there's a whole page with pictures on it, but essentially what you're going to do is unzip it. So you just drag the update onto the SD card. And then you want to go ahead and pop that into the GoPro. You can see it's updating on the front here. This will take a little while and the camera might restart itself a few times. And we've got that screen there just confirming that we are now installed with GoPro Labs Beta. So the whole thing is controlled using these QR codes. There's a page on all the different features, but I'm just going to run you through some of the interesting ones now. So personally, I think one of the best new features is this owner's information. You just click through and it gives you this QR code that you can customize in this text box here. And what this is going to do is pop up on the GoPro screen every time you switch it on, just for a second, a short while, and it saves itself as a text file to every SD card that you put in. So to use this, it's super easy. Just go ahead and scan this code. And then the next time you pop your GoPro on, after a second or so, it'll flash up on screen there. Another great feature GoPro's introduced is these delayed actions. So you can set the camera to start recording in a certain amount of time, or at a specific time, or using the GPS data, it can find when sunrise and sunset is, and then you can set it for, say, half an hour before. We'll get onto motion detection in a second, but you can set the GoPro to start recording once it passes a certain speed. This might be interesting, I guess, if you're mountain biking, you don't want to record on the way up, just on the way down, something like that. And you can set it to repeat for a certain amount of time. Now, going back to this motion detection feature, I could see this being really useful in certain situations. What you want to do is just pop in the sensitivity at the top. I found using 1 is the best. And the delay start is how many seconds before the GoPro starts motion detecting. This we can just leave at 1, and then say we'll leave this at 5. That's how many seconds the camera is going to keep recording after it's detected motion. Now again, it's as easy as just scanning this QR code here. And you see there's a bit of a countdown. Now at the minute, the GoPro isn't recording, but as soon as I put my hand down in front of it, it starts. I think that's a really neat feature. So GoPro have now released this extra long time-lapse mode as well, and what that does is the camera will switch on and switch off completely by itself. GoPro say that it can take up to 400 photos on a single battery, and you can set it to take one photo every 24 hours up to, say, 50 days. And just down here, it'll give you the estimated number of frames, how many seconds of feedback you're going to get. Now, if you ever notice when you've taken a long video on the GoPro, it sometimes splits up the recording about every half an hour or so, depending on which resolution you're on. Now you can override that and you can take longer files. So before it used to do up to about 4 gig, and now it'll do 12 gig. One of the downsides to this is if you're trying to watch the video on the back of the GoPro, it won't actually play, but it will work through the GoPro app. And obviously when you pop the SD card out, it'll work fine on your computer. You can now set up the GoPro so that there's text on the video. They've kind of listed the applications as maybe like security or science experiments. Basically that little bar of text is actually going to be ingrained within the video. So it could be useful for keeping track of a project with lots of different footage and files in there. Similarly, you can now alter the GoPro file names. So if you've got files coming in from multiple GoPros, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it lists the GoPro name afterwards. And then the last section down here is advanced QR codes. And basically what this does is it enables you any action or setting that the GoPro has, and I mean anything, what mode it's in, what resolution it's in, the frame rate, if you want to start recording at a certain time, with a certain ISO max and min and a white balance and a level of sharpness. All of this is completely customizable. I can see this maybe being useful on a bigger production. If you've got multiple cameras, you could have just these QR codes printed out and you can scan all the cameras on them, which would be much quicker than going through all the settings individually. And then you know that they're all in the same setting. So GoPro's got this example on its website of a rocket launch. Now they had to set the GoPros up 72 hours before the launch and they couldn't go back and touch them in the time. And they couldn't obviously have them plugged into an external battery or anything like that. So that's where a lot of this came into. They just had them set up so that they turned on at a specific time, started filming the rocket launch, and then switched themselves off afterwards. Overall, I think this is a really cool update, and I think this isn't even the beginning of it. People are going to come up with more and more different ways to add to this. I think it's great that GoPro's put this out there, and the more people that use it, the more likely it is that some of these features are actually just going to get integrated into the proper user interface in the GoPro. Because at the minute, using the QR codes, it's a little bit clunky. It's the best that they can do, and it's pretty quick with the camera, but yeah. So what did you guys think? Was there any new features that you're excited to use? Let me know down below. On your way down, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It really helps out this video and my channel, and of course subscribe if you want to see new content from me every week. That's all for now. Take it easy.